Okay. We're starting with a quiz today. Starting with test. Who can tell me, because actually I don't know, who can tell me what this was used for? So it has strands of beads coming from all sides. Actually, this side, they're not quite as, it looks like a jellyfish, right? This side, they're smaller. Look at this, Emma. We've been trying to figure this out. Over here, they're actually beaded. So this was in an assortment of things that came from Exquisite Fabrics out of Virginia. And they had a lot of bridal and formal wear fabrics and formal wear trims. And so just now I was going through a little bin and I thought, my goodness, what is this? And how was it used? So those of you that have made really amazing formal gowns, maybe you can tell us. I'll show you the back. The back is, it's almost like an organdy on the back. It's a little bit stiff, and so you can see it's all hand done. So with our Fridays, Gab and Gush, we have an overhead camera that you can see the close-ups on YouTube and Facebook. And for those of you watching on Instagram, we don't have that capability. We use our phone, and we don't have an overhead close-up, but you can always go to Facebook or YouTube and watch it there to see any close-ups. But yeah, we're going to start with a test. Somebody can tell us what this is. It's pretty cool, really. I think my grandkids would think it was fun. But one year, Charlie, my granddaughter, was a jellyfish for Halloween. She had long tendrils hanging off of a big hat. Doesn't it kind of look like a jellyfish? Looks like a jellyfish. Yeah. So it's definitely a bling. No suggestions yet, right?
Not yet.
Come on,
Wake up,
people.
Give us some suggestions.
Yeah, tell me what this is. You're not expecting to see this today. It's like, okay, I'm a, what am I when I wear this on my shoulder? In the military. I don't know. I never saw any of this in the military.
I was thinking a fancy golden girl.
Yeah, fancy golden girl. I need my shoulder pads to go under that. Okay. Anyway, I thought that was kind of fun, so I wanted to show you that. The other thing is that I went to an estate sale yesterday afternoon in Aiken, South Carolina, and I found a couple of things that I think are so pretty, and I wanted to show you. I wanted to show them to you. So let me find my little bin, which is right here. Let's see. A lot of their things I felt like were really pretty high price, and so I didn't go for it. But then I came across some really pretty lace. These are 100% cotton. Now this is the only one that is definitely a valance. Look at that. But isn't that pretty? And then there are 5 pieces that are like this.
Laura Hamilton commented epaulette.
Oh yeah, epaulette. That's what I was thinking of. That's the name of that on your shoulder. But look at this. Isn't that beautiful? And so you could run your curtain rod through these little loops up here, and this would be a really pretty curtain. So I had 5 of these, and so 6 pieces total, and it was only $10.
Wow.
Thought that was a good buy, right? And then
you couldn't get polyester ones for that.
No, I know it. I know. That's really pretty. Then I asked the lady, this didn't have a price. This is a towel, and this is a damask towel. Looks like it's never even, well, you can see a couple of places. It might have been washed before. But look at the lace at the bottom. This is a really wide French lace. And this is a heavier, so I don't know the names of the heavier laces. I'm going to go to the overhead so you can see, it. But
Laura said, what a bargain.
I know
Terry said, very pretty.
that was only $1.
Becky said that is
The
it
beaded?
pearls? Was it
The-
pearls or beads?
uh-huh.
Yeah. She said it looks like a 1920s flapper cap.
Oh, well, it did look like it should go. Well, how about
So
that?
maybe
Yeah. All right. Look at how beautiful this is. This is a gorgeous piece of French lace here at the bottom. And this is a damask towel. And I thought it was interesting and it didn't have a price. So I asked the lady there and she said, how about $1? And I said, okay, $1 sounds good to me. And but yesterday, when Farron was talking about our giveaway, we have 2 little linen towels. What did she call those? But she said, you can hang them on your oven. That. I'd put them in the bathroom. I wouldn't hang them on the oven. But anyway, I thought, and you can hang that on your oven. But this is too pretty to hang on the oven. And then, let me show you this. Look at this runner. Now this is the lace that I need help. There's a name for this lace. And then it's on linen, and then there's drawn thread and embroidery on this linen. So what is the name of this lace? I didn't look it up to see, but isn't it beautiful? It's a heavier, really it looks hand done. It looks like a handmade lace. And I know that there's a name for it.
I love the cutout at the end of the fabric. It's not just squared
Like
off
here,
at the end.
isn't that neat?
That's so neat.
Yeah. So, what I'm excited about is I just bought an antique buffet, and I think this could go across the top of my buffet. Starting to furnish my house, you guys. It's kind of fun. And then I thought I would put this in my house. It's pretty. It's in great condition. And then to go along with that, this the same design, and they said placemats. They probably are placemats. Yeah, they're the same shape, same design. They're so pretty. So there are 6 of these.
That's little placemats. I guess that's to help you make sure you don't eat too much. Huh?
I was going to say, that's not for a 2026 plate.
No, I think this is when you have tea with your friends and your petit fours. Yeah, that's small. It's like, don't spill your coffee on my placemat. But aren't they cute? So I thought you might think that was fun to see these. They look hand embroidered.
Pretty.
I'll go to the overhead and show you.
Terry said, wow, you hit the jackpot.
I know. I was excited because this was the first day, and so many of the things were really expensive. And then I went back in that room and I thought, hey, these are pretty.
Nona said, don't quote me, but it might be called Reticello.
Yeah. That's the name I was thinking of. Yes. That is what I was thinking of. And I didn't take time this morning. I was busy sewing Farron's dress. But I didn't take time to look it up. But I do think that's right. Yeah. But it's pretty, isn't it? And I think Nona, is it handmade? It looks handmade to me. Every one of these little things look like, when you're doing a buttonhole stitch or something like that. That is very neat. If it's not handmade, it doesn't matter to me because I still love it. And then I took this to the house already and put it in my sewing room, but I should have brought it down today because the beautiful framed and professionally framed shadow box of an antique baby dress. It was so precious. It had embroidery and pin tucks, and it was in perfect condition, and it had the name on the back of the frame where it was framed, and that was $20. Can you believe that? $20. So that went home with me. I was very happy about that. And then something really just totally different and weird because it attracted me. I'll show you this. This is a paper towel. A paper towel holder.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. And it's really heavy. Like, this feels like slate. And this, what is this little, this is like a, well, it unscrews. And this is like a frog with a something over his shoulder, right? Okay, I'm going to go to the overhead. This reminds me of a nursery rhyme or something. So what is this? Somebody help me here. What is this? Is that not the cutest thing? This is like cast iron. And this almost looks like, well, he's riding on a goose. Just make sure it's not something raunchy, you know? I don't know. But it reminds me of a nursery rhyme that I can't think of. But he almost looks like a frog, but it could be a person, I don't know. Riding on a goose. And I thought he was tooting a horn, but it looks like he's got just a something over his shoulder. See if I can get closer. Anyway.
Cheryl agrees. Something riding a goose.
Yeah, but is it... Does it remind you of a nursery rhyme or something like that? What is it, people? I just know I think it's cute. And I think it's fun, and it's on a really heavy base. And so I kept looking at it and thinking, I should get this and give this to somebody. And Christy was with me, and she said, well, do you have a nice one? I said, no. She said, well, give it to yourself. Get it and give it to yourself. So I did. This was a present to me. And this one I paid $15 for. So the whole day had gone by, and we went at the end of the day, and nobody else bought it. So maybe it was too expensive, but I think it's cute. I loved it. Anyway.
Frog with his kazoo, ha ha ha. And then Gloria said froggin' went a-courtin'.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Is that a nursery rhyme?
Yes, yeah, it's several verses, because I used to read nursery rhymes to my boys out of the childcraft books. I loved them. A frog went a courtin', woohoo woohoo, or something like that. Yes. And I know it's...
Froggy went a courtin' song came up when I
Yeah. There we go. Anyway.
We'll have to listen to that after.
I know. All right. Now, I showed this. This is a piece of Swiss that is absolutely beyond amazing. It's an antique piece that I've had for a long, long time, and I showed it on Tuesday's Treasures. But you know, it was kind of a really high ticket item. It's kind of hard to think about those things when you're in a hurry and everybody's bidding against each other. It's like one of the things you want to think about. See if you can see. Can you see through it? Oh, people. This is so beautiful. I've had pieces before that are similar, but never this perfect and gorgeous. So each one of these rows, this whole thing is 3 1/3 yards long. And there are 25 different edgings embroidered on this piece. 25. So there are 83.25 yards of edgings embroidered on this. 83 1/4 yards of edgings. And this is on the finest Swiss batiste. I'm going to go to the overhead so you can see the extensive embroidery on these. It is, I mean, the whole design is embroidery. The whole design is so amazing. So these were made and embroidered in Switzerland, and then they were cut in about 8-inch strips, and then a label stamped, a number stamped on each one, and then of course you know it was cut out, so it was an edging, so the salesman could take it around to their shops and show these, and they would be in lace notebooks. I think I've got a big, I can show you that in a minute. Anyway, I have had strips of this. I've had strips, and we sold some strips. I thought I had them all sold, but I came across some more. It's behind that thing. I think it's going to be way back there. Yeah. And so here's a piece, uncut, absolutely exquisite, and it's for sale. But I wanted to show it today because it's so interesting how Swiss embroideries are made. And so you can see that they're embroidered all the way down the whole length of the fabric. I'm going to show you this. You won't believe this book. Wow. Look at this. So how would you like to carry this salesman sample book with you wherever you go? And this isn't the only one. Thank you, Emma. Let's see what we can open them up and show you that this is how they were. This is how they were displayed. Rows and rows and rows of this. I mean, it's so incredible. And then, of course, when they're narrow, you have many more rows on a width of fabric. Many more. And then there are different types of fabric. There's organdy. I mean, we haven't seen designs like this in, I mean, ever. Some of them I've never seen. I'm going to open it up and show the overhead for a second. Let me show you. Look at these. And they're just so beautifully done, and so many styles. We'll flip through and show you a couple of pages of these. So when these are called Swiss embroideries. We will call them Swiss laces. And then my vendor from Switzerland said he does not like me to call them laces. He said these are not laces, these are embroideries, because the design is completely created by embroidery. And they look like laces. We can call them eyelets sometimes. Now these are pretty bright. But look at these, very, very detailed. Let's back up a little bit. Yeah, sweet, sweet details on here. Sometimes it's just fun to look at the historical things, because we can get beautiful designs, but they're so limited compared to what used to be available. There are flounces. These are done on voile and organdy. But that's what that great big piece. Isn't that fabulous? So, anyway, a little bit of history today.
Jeanette says, wow, and Deborah says, exquisite.
It's fun to see it, isn't it? It's fun. Whew. Thank you, Emma.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy. Yeah, salesmen, they're going to have to be strong to carry all that stuff around. Oh, my goodness.
Lori commented earlier, I'm not sure what she's talking about, but she said that looks so similar to the aprons that cover traditional Czech Polji skirts. It's gorgeous.
Oh, Czechoslovakia. Czech, that kind of Czech.
I don't know how you say that word.
Oh, I don't know either. Yeah.
CROLJ skirts.
Yeah, I don't know. So we're getting a little history today. But beautiful, because this is the time of the year that we work with laces and embroidery. So it's fun to see how they're made. And right along that line, I'll show you, and we've done this before, but Jane Seeley has made us some heirloom fancy bands, and I'm just going to show it again, because we have people ordering laces for fancy bands, and a lot of times you'll say, you know, make sure my laces all match and that kind of thing. So anyway, I want to show you that it's really not necessary for every color to be exactly the same as the color next to it. It can be different shades of ivory, different shades of ecru, champagne. And so we're going to go to the overhead here and we'll take a look. Not only that, we have a little Clooney insertion, and then we have a Venice lace. Then this is a Swiss embroidery beading, a Swiss embroidery beading that ribbon is running through. And then here is a wide entredot in between two French laces. So nobody is going to look at this and say, that doesn't look good. I'm looking for my little blue piece of fabric so I can hold this up and show you on here.
You need like one of those dentist clips for the bibs.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All these different types of laces and embroideries in here, and it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. So when you're on our website and you're looking through laces, make sure you go through the Swiss, the French, the Moline, and don't be afraid if something isn't the exact shade of champagne or ecru or whatever.
And even the textures of the Swiss next to the French.
That's right. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this opens a lot of doors, because sometimes you can't find exactly what you're hoping to find, and the whole set doesn't have the right sizes, but you can combine them to create a real beautiful look. So I'm going to show you then and talk about Moline. So we have Moline. Moline lace is made in France, and it's the most expensive French lace. It's very beautiful, very delicate. It's the highest priced French lace edgings that we carry. And so Moline, for some reason, the white is like what we call, when we say we want to order some white silk, very rarely does it ever come in pure white. We call it silk white. It's a silk white. And so I say the same with Moline. Moline lace white is like silk white. It's not 100% optic white. Sometimes they're whiter than others, but so I'm going to show you this. Let's see if you can see. You can see the difference on here, can't you? On the screen, you can see the difference. This is white Moline lace. This is champagne. So I'm going to go to the overhead and show you this, because this is a French lace, but it's the real fine. You can even has tiny little point de spray in here. And then we have white French val lace. So that truly is white. Let's pull that out and show you. So here is champagne Moline, here is white Moline, and then here is white. Maybe I need a thicker one. Here's white French val lace. So let's pull it out here. See, it really doesn't look that much different in here, but usually the regular French lace is whiter, is more optic white. Let me go this way for here. And then the Moline lace has more of a soft white look. And we have had people question us before when they've received their Moline white. They said, I think we've gotten the wrong color. And it's because it's really an off-white color. But this is whiter than some. But look how pretty that is.
Marianne wants to know if you can discuss pre-washing lace.
Oh, what does she want me to discuss? I never pre-wash lace, but I know some people do. So, I don't know. If you pre-wash, you may want to put it in a when to dry it. We had, and I think we're out of them now. We had something we called a lace laundromat, and we wrapped the lace around this a tube that we have. I think we're out, and it had holes in it so that you could submerge the whole thing and wash it, and then bring it out, and it would dry from the inside out as well as outside in. And it, when you unrolled it, the whole thing was smooth. It wouldn't be all tangled. It was great. So that would be the only way I'd want to wash is if I was very careful not to get it tangled up, because when it's wet and it gets tangled, it's a big mess. But I mean, I don't wash lace ahead of time. Well, some people might. I don't think Jane does when she does her things. I don't think so. She does a lot of, but people have different opinions. So if you have a suggestion or opinion, you're welcome to share that.
Well, Cheryl says she has one of those and it's amazing.
Good. We made them for a long time, and then we're like, oh, I don't know, and maybe we need to reconsider it. I don't know, but okay. We're hopping from here to somebody else might have something to say.
Jeanette says, I only wash my lace if it is old.
Yeah. In that case, sometimes I will take it and I will loosely tie. I'll make a hank of it, and I loosely tie a ribbon around it and soak it and push it up and down in the water with, use like what's our stuff called? Retro Clean. And soak it in Retro Clean, which is a sodium perborate. So you might have another sodium perborate that you use, but we like ours. And you can soak it for days if it's really icky, and then rinse it. But never do agitate a lot, because then it gets tangled. But you just kind of swish it up and down, up and down, up and down. You can see if it's dirty. I mean, if it's really old, you'll see all the dust and everything, dirt, come out in that water, and you rinse it, dump the water out, and then you can re-soak it. Like, I'm going to soak a couple of these placemats that I got. They look like they need it. And a couple of the curtains have a spot on them that I'm going to soak. So,
In your preferred washing bin, is it a Costco cake lid? Am I correct?
I save all kinds of things, Emma.
But it's really nice because when you're soaking lace, you can see right through it and see how murky the water is.
You know how big those cakes are at Costco? Those big old chocolate cakes?
Yeah. I like being able to see what's happening in that water.
I save mine, and that's what I soak my stuff in. Yeah, that's true.
Well, Barbara said she just read a pattern where you wash and dry iron, or use a steam iron in place of washing. Shrinks, but not as much.
Well, you can. I know people will do that. They'll put it up on their ironing board and steam it ahead of time, and then it might shrink a little bit. Yeah.
And Andrew says she pre-washes all her cotton lace so it doesn't shrink.
Yeah. I know. Everybody has their way of doing things. So, we had a little tidbit on seam rippers, because you guys get me curious when you answer our questions from our Gavin Gush, our giveaway questions. And so many of you said things about the seam ripper, and I thought, I wonder when that was invented. And so I did print up some things, and I put references in our newsletter, because a couple of them were really fun. This one especially, and of course I probably don't have her reference on here, but it's a blog, and she was so cute. The things she said, I'm like, she made me laugh when I read them, but it made me happy also, because she's tested and she said her number one favorite is this Clover Seam Ripper, which actually I love this one too. It's number 482, and I love the way you can hold it. But then if she said if you have arthritis in your hands and you want one that's ergonomically friendly, there's a grip fit, and it's by Clover. Clover has good products, and we carry this. It's a grip fit, and not only that, at the end, it has this little rubberized thing that you can scrape up your thread pieces. You know, when you're seam ripping, then you have a lot of little thread pieces, and you pick. But you can rub that over, and it kind of scrapes them all off, which is nice. And we have another one too with that kind of an end. But this one is the Grip Fit by Clover, and this one is just the regular Clover. And they were talking about this.
We got a hooty hoo from Fred. He's joined us now.
Hey, Fred. Good to see you. So all these seam rippers, most of them have this little red ball on here on this end, on the little short prong. And so, you know, a lot of you already know this, but there was a good picture in here where you can put, like if you're opening a seam, here it is right here. I'll show you this right here. If you're trying to open a seam, then you put the little, whoops, I guess I was in the overhead and then I went to not. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. We'll go back down here. See that little red ball on here? And it's on that little short one. You put that underneath the seam, and then you can just run that right up the seam, and it's not supposed to cut the fabric. Always makes me a little nervous, but
yeah, me too.
yeah, because I'm thinking, what if I go off to the edge? What if I do that? Then that's bad. But somebody said on here that they think that the seam ripper was invented first not because people were making so many mistakes when they were sewing, but because people were conserving their fabric. They didn't have fabric available to them like we do now, and so they were reworking their garments. And so they would have to take the seams apart, make it smaller for another outfit for the child or something like that. And so this made it so much faster. And the earliest patents, there was one in the late 1800s, and then here's one. I'll show you a picture of it. A picture, and this was in the this was 1904. And so, but the first pictures of some had almost looked like it had a pocket knife handle at the end and scissors up here. You know, they were trying to put them together to make it work for them. I'll show you a close up on this one. It's kind of interesting to see this.
An early multi-tool.
Yeah, as you can see, this looks like scissors attached to a pocket knife handle, doesn't it? Anyway, sort of interesting. So today we're having a history lesson. We're having a history lesson about lace, seam rippers, and the one girl I really liked reading her stuff, she called it the unsewing tool. Because we're always talking about our sewing tools, and she called it the unsewing tool, and I think that's true. All right, now let me show you something else. When Farron, my granddaughter that comes here, she's 8. She wanted to learn how to hand embroider, and so I ordered a kit, because honestly I don't know how to hand embroider. I have to learn too. And the first thing I ordered, this is how tiny the book is. It's like she can't embroider in this. This is crazy. This is way too little. So then I went back on Google and I ordered something bigger, and it came came in this box, and there's a hoop and instruction book. And then there were bigger pieces. Look at these. There are larger pieces with pre-printed things. And she did these little satin stitch hearts. And she really enjoyed that. But this is kind of like canvas. It was hard to get the needle through. And so Connie Palmer told me about, oh man, Adorn It, a website called Adorn It. And so I think she showed you some things here the other day. And so they put the design on, where is my stuff? Here it is. And we carry this. I'm like, hey, we carry this. This is awesome. They put the design on a Sulky, Stitch, and Stick and Stitch. So you could print a design on this. There are pages in here, Stick and Stitch. And then press it onto your fabric. And put your fabric in the hoop. And then you embroider. And then wash away because it's a wash away. And so, anyway, Connie came by yesterday when Farron was here. And so she said, here, I'll show you. And I thought, thank you. So we had, it says June. We had June, who's 5. I had her write her name, and then Michelle blew it up so it was bigger and be easier for Farron to embroider it. And so Farron put the Stick and Stitch over this and traced June's name on here. And that's why she was asking, what stitch would you use? And man, you had great suggestions. I loved it. So you said the stem stitch, the running stitch, there are a lot of good suggestions. And even like embellish then with beads and buttons even. Well, she's going to love that part. And so Connie taught her the stem stitch, and she made the J. And so then she was thinking about what color flower did she want, and we went through all the floss, and she thinks that this pink looks good with the blue. So she's going to be working on this, and then she's going to be making her other sisters one of these too, and then maybe turn it into a pillow or something. But isn't that fun? And actually, she got way down here, and she said, here, Gigi, you finish it. And I thought, this is fun. I kind of liked it. I thought, man, maybe I'll do some hand embroidery. It kind of surprised me. So this is where on Sunday when they came for lunch, I said, June, I want you to write your name. And so she wrote her name, and then she started whacking up this piece of paper. But we saved enough here so that she could, so Michelle could enlarge it. But anyway, that's the progress on the hand embroidery. Isn't that good?
Terry wants to know what fabric is she stitching on.
Oh. That fabric is, I looked all around down here and I found a piece of fabric that we used to call it open weave piqué. And I just grabbed it and whacked off a piece. So it's not even, it should be linen. I should have cut a piece of linen, and I just thought, well, let's just do this because it was right in front of me. That's kind of how I work. Like, here it is. Let's go with that. But she's going to be, I asked her older sisters to write their name out for her, and so she'll be working on theirs. And it would be fun, wouldn't it, for her to do the stem stitch and do the stems and leaves and then put a button for the flowers. Wouldn't that be cute? I think that would be cute.
Denise said Farron did a good job on her embroidery.
She did. She was real careful. But I was so thankful that Connie was here because one of the reasons that's taken me so long to get her going on is because I don't know what I'm doing with that. I can sit at the sewing machine and make something, but hand embroidery is like I'm not sure what I'm doing. All right, I want to show you. I've got some stuff I want Michelle to show you in a minute, but we had a question. We had a question from a lady, and thought, well, I'm going to try this, and I gave a suggestion, but I'm hoping it works. She is working with a lightweight fabric like satin batiste, and she's like, how do you get? And this is a Pima cotton batiste, and it's soft too. You can see it's like soft. How would you? She wanted the sleeve to stay a little poofy, and I know we've done we've talked about making a little header on a sleeve before, and we have a free download on our website for it. But I thought, why couldn't she cut her sleeve out of her satin batiste and also out of polyester organza? Like, make them the same. You know, here it is. Polyester organza back here. It's very soft. It's not itchy. And if she cut her sleeve through the both layers and then you just baste around it, so you have you work with it as one piece of fabric, because then you have body without bulk. I think it'd be beautiful. So this is how far I got when I was actually going to cut out a sleeve and make it up and have one without it and one with it. But I thought I can just as easily show you with this polyester organza. We have it in white and ivory. It's very pretty. It's not very expensive. And you baste it. You have your both layers of sleeves. You baste them together, and then you just gather it up. And then somebody said, well, what about a skirt? Couldn't you underline a skirt? And I'm thinking, well, I think you probably could. You could put it under the skirt too, and it would be poofy. Hold it out without being straight out like a ballerina skirt. But it's soft still, and it's not scratchy, and it's not bulky. So you definitely could put some polyester organza. This is a Japanese, and it's really a nice quality. How much is it a yard? I can't remember. I think it's 60 inches. It's $12.98, 60 inches. It doesn't take much to, if you're using it as a project. The other thing you can do is if you want to make a sash. I've done this before. Out of something lightweight, I have underlined my sash fabric in it polyester organza. Then when you tie the bow, it stays pretty, and the whole thing would be lined in polyester organza. You tie your bow. It's not heavy and bulky, but you keep a really nice keep a nice loop. It's real pretty that way. So
Is that the off-white, Sally?
I think this is the white. Pretty sure, yeah, this is the white.
Okay. So, the white is 54 inches and it's $12.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep. 54 inches wide. There are a lot of ways to use it. I know that people will use it underneath when you're assembling laces for a lace bodice. You can put your lace, sew your laces right on top of it, and you can't even see it through the lace. And that way you can have a whole lace bodice that's strong and not heavy, and it doesn't take away from the lace design itself. So polyester organza, there's a place for polyester. I didn't think so when I first opened my shop. I wouldn't have it in the shop. But now
Marianne said, brilliant idea, especially for those that do not iron.
I know, it's great. but it doesn't add any weight, and then it adds body. It's pretty. It's really pretty. All right. Now, this is my list here. Oh, I know. I will update on Farron's dress.
Jeanette noticed it earlier. Looks like it was done in the background.
I don't have the buttons on yet, but
Pretty.
when I put that on Farron, we talked about it was, even though I lengthened the bodice an inch, I wasn't happy with, I felt like it was too short for her. And so I thought, well, I'll make another bodice and blah, blah, blah. Then I thought, you know what? Her little sister June came over one day, and I thought, well, let's try it on June. Fit June great, the bodice. I thought, all right. So I asked Farron's permission if they could have look-alike dresses, and she said yes. The only thing, I've got to look around for another yellow flower because I don't know where that one came from. It's the perfect color. But Farron said yes, that she would like the look-alike dresses. Anyway, you guys gave me great suggestions last week. You said not to put a ruffle here, but to put the piping. So I did piping around the neck, all the way down the back, and around the waist. I love that. And then Michelle came in, and I'll have her show you in a minute, with a dress that she made out of Liberty of London, and we have a self ruffle out of that fabric. I'm like, oh, I love that at the bottom. So let me show you in the overhead here how cute this ruffle is at the bottom. I mean, it's just sweet. It's just a sweet little ruffle down here. And that finishes it, and it's done. Then she's going to love this. When she put it on, she said, oh, I like when my back shows. Isn't that cute? The back is so cute. So this pattern is Peony Patterns Gardenia. Peony Patterns Gardenia. And this is a PDF pattern. And I made a size 7 bodice. I did put darts in the back to draw it in the waistline. I did put little darts just in the back. And then I cut Farron out, another one. And I actually lengthened, well, I haven't cut hers out yet. I drew the pattern off. I lengthened her bodice 2.5 inches. And it's still, not at her waist. So I think that'll be a little more grown up for her than up too high on her. But she'll have the same look. And they'll be cute going to church together in their little matching dresses. So we'll probably have a kit out of this. And we may not have this yellow flower, but we will have everything else for it. This fabric...
Jeanette loves the ruffle, and Cheryl said that is darling.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What I like about this, no lining here. I did underline the bodice and line it. I lined it in white broadcloth. And you can't see through it. You can't see through it. So I love that. That's nice. All right. We have, I'm going to have Michelle come up and we'll talk about these fabrics. We have, last week we had a surprise sale for the people that were watching us, and we're going to do the same thing today. At the end of the thing, I'm going to tell you. But one of the girls was cutting this. I love this fabric. I guess I like blue. She was cutting this blue dimity. It's kind of like a dimity, right? For an order. And it's so pretty. And I thought, wouldn't this be pretty with a white collar? Just a white collar, just a summer dress with a white collar.
Oh, yeah.
Like what? Louise, right? Like Louise. Louise has an optional collar. It's just a sleeveless, like, gathered. Yeah, has an optional collar. It's cute. It's cute. And so and blue with a white collar for summer.
That'd be really pretty.
So pretty.
Classy.
I know. So we'll go to the overhead so they can see. They can see that. And then recently on, I don't know, it could have been Lizette might have shared it from Children's Corner. I'm gonna show this. Yeah. A dress in a big plaid. So I've got a small plaid that it was cute. Just a plaid with a white collar. That was all there was to it. And how cute is this? This is a piqué. We call it flocks, because to me it looked like flocks of birds. we have one we call bird's eye, but this looks like flocks of birds. So we call this one flocks. This is a beautiful, beautiful piqué for a collar or a bodice or something like that. And so I wanted to bring that out to show you how it would look with these.
Very nice.
Plus, they could do like a ready-made collar.
Yeah.
We do have ready-made piqué collars, ready-made eyelet collars. White collars would be really pretty on here. And
Eyelet.
wouldn't the eyelet be pretty? It would, wouldn't it? I know. I mean, blue and white, you can't go wrong with blue and white. That's pretty. So the other one, and this I say it feels like dimity because dimity has that raised line that it's a thread that creates a texture, and you can feel it in there. So in this design, there's a raised line, so it reminds me of a dimity fabric.
This is the outside?
I think so. Well,
Kind of like the inside.
you like that better? Well, the thing is,
But-
you can do whatever side you want.
Right.
Yeah, inside's cute.
This gives a little more texture.
It does.
Awesome.
Then this, love this plaid. You do the same thing with this plaid, with a white collar and Louise or something. And you could do a brother-sister outfit. Like, you could have a Johnny or shorts, right?
I think
Or
I like
shirt.
this better with the
With
more
which?
smoother fabric.
Oh,
and
do you
the
really?
Textured.
Oh, and a texture was smooth. Well, I can see that. And then this is a tiniest little. Can you see? It's almost like a houndstooth. It's like a micro check, but it's like a houndstooth. And I think this just came in. I think this is new. Navy and white houndstooth. Very
Really
tiny and
soft.
sweet. Yeah, it's smooth. Again, you don't see through it, so you wouldn't have to line a skirt. It's pretty. It's pretty. I'm gonna go to the overhead so you can see these right here. I don't even know if you can see how that's so tiny that it almost looks solid. But I love these. Like a lady's shirt would be pretty out of this, wouldn't it?
Very pretty.
Just kind of classic, right?
And would feel so good.
You're right about that. You're right about that. And then we have this pretty pink.
Pretty pink. Gotta
And
have our pink
again,
too.
yeah, we gotta have a pink. So we are gonna mark this one, this beautiful piece. Look at this. We're gonna mark this down.
That's my favorites together.
It is good, isn't it? This would be cute as a yoke and then a dress. We're gonna mark this down this weekend. It's regular what, and we're marking it
Regular $15.50, and it is now $8.98 a yard.
$8.98, but we are not gonna advertise it to anybody else until Tuesday. So this will be $8.98 through. It's like 60 inches wide. Again, you can't see through this. It's a wonderful cotton.
It's a super 120s,
Oh, no wonder it feels so good.
58 inches.
Yeah. So this with a Louise pattern would be adorable, right?
You would.
With a piqué bodice or piqué yoke or a piqué collar, something like that. I think it'd be so cute. All right. I didn't give Michelle much time. I wanted to show you what she's been working on.
All right.
All right. I never
Well,
think
you've
I've got enough to
seen-
talk about.
You've seen this one before. a little bubble, and that's this kit here. Made with a Piper, little bubble, and
So sweet.
I added the little bows, and I changed out to make a little contrast. I thought I used Kelly, but I guess I used Hunter, which Kelly and Hunter gingham go with it.
They do.
And then I used it for the sash also. And then I added our pre-made ruffle, so I'd have like a kind of double look, because this one just has the one here.
That's cute.
So, changing it up a little bit.
So we have a kit for this.
Do y'all want to show the dress with the bubbles so they can see?
Oh
the
yeah,
difference?
yeah. Okay.
I'm about to get
Sure.
to that.
Okay.
But that's the little bubble insert. It's called Buttercup. And then
Buttercup bubble.
decided using the April pattern by Children's Corner. It's very similar. The neckline's a little different. That's rounded.
Mhm.
It's a little more square. And so I made one. And this is the Kelly. And this is the Hunter.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit.
And both of them are great combinations with this Liberty
So
fabric.
if you like the little on the lighter side, go with the Kelly. A little
Yeah,
darker,
yeah,
go with the Hunter.
yeah.
And so on this one, I didn't add this. I kind of forgot to do it, and I didn't want to take it out. But then I was like, well, this will be kind of like the big sister, little
that's
sister, so
right.
we'll make hers a little different.
Yeah.
And then I still had the ruffle, so I was like, should I add it to the end? I started hemming it, and then I was like, oh, I did leave a. Hope she didn't get stuck when she tried
did try
it.
this on.
She tried it on. I thought I got all my pins out.
June tried this on, and we took pictures, and we got. Oh my goodness.
So I just basted this on here because I wanted to make sure.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5.
she didn't even know. Now,
5
I
pins in
sewed
that.
around here. I was almost done, and then I was like,
She'll never
baste
try
this.
anything on for me again if she got poked.
well, she didn't say anything, so don't
No,
tell
she didn't.
her. So yeah, so this is just basted on here because I was like, I
Well,
think it'll work. I
well,
don't think it'll
that's-
be too much because I was
I
afraid
love it actually.
this and this would
yeah,
be too
no.
much.
That's what
But-
triggered me to put it on the bottom of that other dress because I
Yeah.
love the way it looked and it was cute on her because it had just a little poofy floofy at the bottom.
I had to keep the little sash because
Yeah.
it's just too cute.
It is.
Older girls need sashes too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So we have kits for both. This one's called Blossom. That's called Buttercup. So Buttercup and Blossom.
Very sweet.
And you can get them. I did make both the kits in Kelly gingham though.
Oh, okay.
So
Carrie asked how you made the little bows.
Oh, somebody asked that before.
just two little rectangular pieces of fabric and sewed around, turned it right side out, squinched it, and put a little tab in the middle. That's all I did.
The other way you
Nothing.
you can
nothing
do
but
it.
too
You
fancy.
can make your piece long enough and fold it in half and sew across the back, but leave a little space open, and then put that seam in the center, and then sew across both ends. So it's folded, seam here, and then the little hole is in the back. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm a visual, so
Okay. Well, let's
it goes in one ear.
Let's-
I can't.
let's show you because this is what I do. And like I don't measure. You probably didn't measure. You probably looked at it and
No,
said.
I actually did two before I got the right. I did one
Yeah,
size, and I
yeah.
was like, let me
Sometimes
do
I
something
do
a little
that
different.
too. So, if you have a longer piece, this is way too long, people. Let's see. If I want it to be, let's say I want it to be that size. These are horrible scissors. So here's a piece right here. Fold it here, and sew. I'll show you. This goes really quick. So just sew straight across here and straight across here and leave a space in the middle. And then go to the ironing board. Let's say that's sewn. This is sewn.
Mm-hmm.
Open it up like this and press that seam open
Mm-hmm.
like here. Want to go to the overhead? Go to the overhead. Let's see if they can see it. Press that seam open like right there, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now sew across this end, sew across this end, and then turn it right side out through here.
Okay.
Then you don't have to worry about.
Like a little Kleenex.
Yeah, it is like a little clean. It is. Yeah.
Okay.
And so then these are on folds. Your only part you sew is across here.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, by the time you pinch it together, let's say it's right side out.
Mm-hmm.
Pinch it together like this, and wrap your little piece around there. You don't even have to sew up that hole.
Mm.
It's like
Nice.
easy peasy.
I like it.
But then,
They're loving the outfits, and
Yes.
they would like to know how you added the ruffle at the hem.
oh,
I just stuck it on there. I mean, I did do like a little French seam to wherever it stopped, because I didn't do it in a, in a seam right here.
yeah, I didn't
I
even
just
do
did a
that.
little- How'd you do yours?
I
That's the expert.
Well, and Sally,
I'm
I'll
not
tell
an
you
expert.
this. Barbara asked, did you hem the dress first and then add the ruffle?
No, I mean you hemmed it because you weren't sure, and then you
Yeah.
decided. No, this.
Because I
Where is
still
Where's
kind
that
of think I
ruffle
need
stuff?
to do something different for the inside.
This
but-
is what I did. Well, here's a piece, and here's a ruffle. I took my ruffle if this is the bottom of my dress here.
Mhm.
This is the outside of my skirt. So I just I sewed. Oh, where am I? With the ruffle facing, right sides together, whatever, and the ruffle.
Did you serge it?
No, I serged it when I was done sewing it.
Uh-huh.
But my skirt was a little too long because when I went over, Kristen was like, I think I want it to be 13 inches, and I'm like, all right. I always measure a little more, and because it's easier to take it off than it is to add it, and so I sewed mine up farther because I was going to cut that off, and I thought, well, I'll just serge that off.
Mm-hmm.
So I sewed it. I went all along here. My whole skirt was sewn together in a circle, just like yours.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of left one end a little bit loose so that I could sew them together when I got to the end.
Right.
And
That's what I
then and then I sewed it down here. But honestly, if your skirt was the right length, you could sew right sides together with your raw edges even. And then I just sewed on that second stitch. You did too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
That second stitch, and then
Flipped
I
it.
serged it.
Or
Yeah, and then flipped it and did edge stitch along here. And so that way it's serged. It's completely finished, right? You kind of did that, except that
I
you
just have
had-
unbasted.
Yeah,
so
you had yours basted up.
I was making sure
I know.
before I cut and undo stuff.
Marianne wants to know what size April you made.
Is that a 4?
This is a 4.
Because it was a little too small for. I mean, it's the waist is pulled in quite a bit on this
Yeah.
because it did fit June,
I got
who's
it
5
tied
years
here.
old, but it was
I
a little
can,
short on her. Yeah.
That's a 4.
It was cute though.
So cute.
Man, it was cute.
Thank you.
It looked good.
So I did that. Although I've been working on that bubble before, so I brought my 3 outfits in, and also my corset because I had and I forgot to bring it down here. A question for finishing that because I
Yeah.
started working to try to finish that. And I halfway felt like Regina. Like, well, I'm halfway, Regina. I got 3 outfits and one almost
Yeah,
done.
we need a new name. We need a name for Michelle. Regina the Machina and Michelle, I don't know.
I don't either.
Because she's
We're
been
gonna
not.
have to come up with one. Fred.
Fred,
we need
come
to
on,
work on
Fred.
that.
We need it. We need
Be
a
nice.
Name. Yeah. We need a name for Michelle.
All right, so this is my little cute kit, Josie. And it uses the Lillian pattern by Children's Corner. We have this beautiful ecru.
It's a wide
What do you
insertion,
call it?
really.
Just insertion.
Yeah.
And I found this fabric that I thought would coordinate well with their
I
denim.
can go overhead so they can see that a little better. And flip it around towards you a little bit. Yeah, this is so sweet. But we wanted to show a little bit, so it's like
Yeah.
we want. How about piping? So then she did.
So I
piping.
did my first piping, y'all.
Yeah.
I've been
You made it yourself.
I've been intimidated by making piping, but you know, I got out my little Ten Sisters tool, and
Yeah.
I've usually just been trimming
Mm-hmm.
pre-made. So yeah, I was excited to do that.
Yes,
and,
it's cute.
It turned out good, and
Uh-oh.
I was proud of my buttonholes.
Good.
And I even put the buttons on with the machine. I tried that
Yeah.
this time. So
It's
I'm
branching
getting there.
out.
Getting there. We
Branching
got
out.
cute little pistachio
Yeah,
flower buttons
they are
to
cute.
coordinate.
They're cute. They look really cute with this with the lining and the piping.
Yeah.
They're cute.
So this is a 4 also.
And when June tried these on so we could get pictures, you know, and she's like, "Oh, I like how skinny it fits on me," you know. And so, she's so funny. Oh, I like this. Like,
When they
okay.
get to be a teenager, they want it snatched.
Oh.
Mom, can you snatch this in? I'm
Oh,
like, it looks
man.
fine to me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So,
So Connie's working on, and we have kits for Connie that I think we'll show when we.
yes,
When we bring
get
the
the dress
dresses.
back.
Oh
and-
my goodness, they're going to be so pretty.
But these are going to have 2 options, 2 different plates
Mm-hmm.
that you could purchase separately. But we got all the floss that'll go for either one.
Yeah,
So depending on your taste, and
that's right.
but
But
it's a beautiful dress,
It is
and
beautiful. It's so pretty.
it's going to be shown without the lace. There'll be one thing that does show some edging
Mm-hmm.
on the collar and sleeves, and we included that if you want to add that.
And another with piping. Another option
Right.
with piping. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how are we doing?
And
Covering all the bases.
oh, here's the plates.
Oh, good.
Or do you
okay.
want to wait
Yeah,
and
you
show
can
that?
show it. Sure.
These are
And this is
2 different. Oh, that's upside
the
down.
circle jacquard fabric that we love. This circle fabric so much. And this
I have
is
that
in
one
pink.
upside down too. Yeah. Okay, crosses and cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms. So pretty.
I love cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
And it'll be beautiful on
Mm-hmm.
here. The dresses are gorgeous. I think Connie's showing them to somebody today. She's teaching a class.
We'll have them in person though.
Mhm.
You can see them close up. Good.
There.
When she gets back. But that's all I have.
Hey, real quick, can you do an overhead of the pink fabric
Yeah.
to show them the?
Sure. Let's get closer. Is it close enough?
I was gonna name it Pretty in Pink, but
Maybe just a little bit
one
more.
more. We have too many things named Pretty in Pink, so I changed it to Dressed in Pink.
Oh yeah.
It really is so pretty
Can
in
you
person.
can they see the
You
circles?
can.
Yeah.
Is it enough?
The color is beautiful. Does that pink? I bet that pink piping doesn't go with that, does it? It went with every single thing.
not
No, it's
quite,
a
I
little
don't think.
too mauvey, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything I had last
Did you
week.
make all that?
No, we have it though.
Oh, I didn't know we had that.
We had it made. We had it made. Yep. So cherry blossoms or crosses
Mm-hmm.
options are great, and
Yeah. Create your own. little
any
design.
questions? No. Okay, well, let's have a drawing.
All right.
We have, well, Farron was back, so we have some interesting things. And a couple people said they were really interested in the magazines, the books. So we have a couple of good ones from Martha Pullen. And then some pretty fabrics. And,
Trim.
yeah. And those good towels. So we'll let Michelle pull a name, and
All right.
Emma got to be on her merry little way. I forgot what time it was.
Kristen
Demian. All right.
Farron should try the Lazy Daisy and chain or blanket stitch.
I know. I love that you gave lots of options. So thank you very much. I went longer than I planned. Emma has to be gone somewhere, and so she should have been waving a flag at me. But thanks for joining us.